Can I get 1,000 likes for this drawing? Probably not, but I can at least talk about it. What is up, guys and gals? My name is Sankara, and in this video I am going to be going in depth into two of my most recent drawings. But first, if you want to learn how to draw, add detail, shading, and other art related stuff, then start now by subscribing and hitting that bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, first we're going to talk about my profile picture. I drew this as a replacement for my Facebook profile picture, which was long overdue for a change. If you can't tell, it's a picture of myself with my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card, Yubel. Drawing these two characters was a simple matter of just drawing them, really. As with all of my drawings, I do the line art first and then add coloring underneath on a different layer. This process is simple enough for me, but if you would like to know how to draw either of these characters step by step, then be sure to let me know down in the comments. But the biggest thing to talk about when it comes to the characters is the shading. In most drawings, the shading will be done using lighter and darker versions of the base color, but for this one, some of the shading comes from the sun itself. Since the sun is such an important aspect of this piece, which we'll get to in a bit, I used a lot of yellow and orange colors for certain points of the shading in which the sun or the bright background would hit. This all brings it together, making it look like a lighter piece. If you look at the expressions on both Yubel and myself, you'll see that we match. I wanted to show the connection between the two, to show that they are a team, as well as to show a look of confidence but also happiness when together. The next biggest thing is the background. First of all, for those interested, the twilight sky was done simply by filling in sections with the right colors and then just sort of blending it all together. As for the clouds, I made them look like clouds by first drawing the base shape and then using the blend tool to stretch it out and the blur tool to match it into the background. This just gives it that more realistic cloud look. The sun is what really brings this piece together. It's a representation of a new day and a new beginning. I wanted this piece to show how I've changed and grown over the years, and the sunrise is sort of a metaphor for that, as well as making the piece look happier and more inviting, but still keeping that confidence that I mentioned earlier. So that was my profile picture. Not really much to go over there, it mostly speaks for itself, I think. By the way, if you would like to see either of these drawings in all of their glory, as well as any other pieces I do, then be sure to head over to my Instagram, link will be in the description. Moving on to drawing number 2. This one I made to replace my cover photo, and it is once again a drawing of myself, but this time with Gren Marju. The remove from play deck has always been my thing, so of course I had to give it some love too. Again, drawing myself was pretty straightforward, but for this piece I actually took a photo of myself in the mirror just so I could get the shading of my forearm muscles correct. I did the shading as normal, but also blended in some orange to the lighter parts as a reflection of the fire. The fire itself is coming from Gren. Gren is a fire monster, so one can only assume that he has fire attacks, right? But this fire, as well as the orange glow all around the bottom, is there to make Gren stand out more as a powerful creature, and give him that authority and control of the piece. This is further supported by his placement. He is sort of a bit in the distance behind me, but you'll notice in the corner at the front that his tail is wrapped around in front of me. This was to give the idea that Gren has my back and is protecting or supporting me. This also gives more power to myself in the foreground. Even though I am the main centerpiece, Gren is heavily adding onto that by being the big thing that you notice, which all around gives my character more authority. This is further supported by the facial expression on my character, a look of ferocity. Where Yubel is like my partner and favorite card, Gren is my power and ultimate monster who I bring out to deliver the final blow. On to the background elements. Macrocosmos, of course, had to be included as it is the main card in my remove from play deck. The background was originally going to be a space-type thing with stars and planets, as this is what Macrocosmos does in the anime. However, while this did look good, it didn't go well with my profile picture. It was too dark. So instead, I went for something lighter. Behind Gren is the Dimensional Fissure, another staple card in the remove from play deck, which acts as a backup for Macrocosmos. The lightning that comes out of it also adds to the look of power that Green Maju has. I did the lightning by simply doing white over purple and using the blur tool to give it that glowing effect. The red and black inside the fissure was done like I do clouds, using the blend tool to stretch it out more naturally, and then the blur tool to make it less solid. It's hard to see, but if you notice the background around the fissure, it sort of twists around. This is because on the card itself, it shows the clouds twisting around the fissure. For the rest of the background, I used different shades of blue, white, and grey, blended and blurred like clouds. On the left corner, I included streaks of yellow with clouds on top, with which I used the blend tool to stretch the clouds down to give the yellow more of a natural look. This was done to make it look like the sun was shining through the clouds. This adds to the power depicted in this drawing, as well as the metaphor of change and new beginnings from the first drawing. This also has the metaphor of the light piercing through the darkness, as Gren is summoned to break through and defeat the enemy. So there you have it, that's my drawings in depth. If you want to learn how to draw things like these, then be sure to subscribe, as I will be giving tips and tutorials on how to do all kinds of things in art. If there's anything in particular that you would like to learn, be it a technique or how to draw a certain character, then let me know down in the comments and I'll make a video of it just for you. Once again, my name has been Sankara, thank you for watching, let me know what you thought, and until next time, see ya!